I was making some changes here in the download simply video from YouTube. It's a downloader to download playlists and videos in a concurrent way, so you can download multiple videos simultaneously. And in I was making some last changes. Basically, I was ensuring that we could download multiple playlists at the same time. I was also asking then to update the README about it, so simultaneously. And what I really like now on VS Code is that it will also make a test. So it will create a bash script automatically, a temporary test, and it will simulate the script by downloading, you see here, it's like test URLs, and it will test these videos. So that's just playlists, and it will see if the script works the way I expect it to work. So what I asked is, can you ensure the entire playlist can also be downloaded when multiple playlist URLs are mentioned for concurrent download mode? And so it does that script. That's just, a bash command, like it will just execute. So a cd to go into the project, and so with the Python, it's basically Python in the CLI mode. So that's why we have the option C actually to run the Python directly. There's no need to create a Python script. Basically, it's Python being run in the command CLI mode, like interpretation mode. I'm not too sure. I forgot actually the name, the correct name, but that doesn't really matter. So we would, a bit like a eval, so we would run Python with a Python command, and then after the C flag we have code, and then we put our, basically the code we would normally have in a Python file, and so that would have a loop here, and it will ensure that the script would work correctly. And so here again, with Python 3 actually, because I do have Python 3 on my computer, so it will again run the script there, and so it does work. So that's with Python 3, as you can see. And then I will just do continue, and we can see, so to simulate if what I have in my download.py file works or not. Let's see. And in the meantime, I will open, well, I cannot. It's funny because on Cursor I can open multiple chats, but I believe on VS Code I don't have that option yet. Keeping continue starting the chat will end. Yes, I don't want it to end the other session. That's fine. So let's continue here. Perfect. So what it did, now we can just run this command again. So that command will have py compile, that download.py, that's the script, and py compile is basically, I believe it's is it a variable? Where does it come from? Oh, from a module. Okay, so to load the module with the m flag, py compile. Alright, so let's see. So it did some changes, some enhancements, and now key feature confirmed, working, multiple playlists concurrently, mixed content downloads. Alright, that sounds, well, let's see the changes actually. So we updated the comment here, the doc block, and the documentation block of the function for to check if it's in the playlist. So check playlist parameter. If it's a list, yeah. If we just go below, that's minor changes, and so we have it. So the script needs to still be working for multiple videos that aren't playlists as well. I believe this remains the same too, isn't it? You can just I believe it is. Anyway, the feature basically was already implemented. Here's just enhancements because I wanted to make sure that the behavior was correct, but it was actually kind of correct already. And what we need to be careful is that usually with AI it will add extra checks that are not really meant to be there, are like redundant, and so usually it will add more complexities in your code than what it's supposed to. And if we did write it by ourselves, we wouldn't have wrote this kind of extra checks that are not really meant to be there. The type content we are downloading, okay, that's the message for the user, but basically what was the message before? There was no output directory. Okay, so it's more explicit here. Yeah, like that one, that's fine. We can keep that one. And I will just continue. So again, here it will execute, so it's like a part of the script, so it will execute this one. We can keep running that one, that's fine. So like this check, I believe it's not really check the playlist in the path URL. Does it have it on YouTube? I kind of doubt it does. When we download playlists on YouTube, does it have playlist inside of the URL? Maybe it does actually. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know. Let's see. Yeah, so it will check if it does have playlists. I believe that it's not really needed, these changes, but yeah, why not? I believe it can break quicker, because if YouTube, for whatever reason YouTube wants to change the URL format to not have playlist in the URL, it will probably break the script. Yeah, it will. That's not ideal. Can we avoid checking the URL format if playlist keyword is present, in case YouTube changes the URL format? This is not really needed now, but we have it done twice. Yeah, let's see. But otherwise I'm happy with the version we have at the moment. That's fine, it's good enough anyway, so not deleting this. Okay, yeah, just to make it a little bit better. It will check from the YT DLP library, which I use. My script is like a wrapper. I mean, kind of a better, yeah, it's a better version, but it's a wrapper for my script uses deeply the library, which is YT YouTube DLP download. Right, I will just continue here and let's see how it goes now. Let's see the changes. It tries to YouTube said playlist does not exist. Or maybe that URL it's just a dummy one and it's not a playlist actually. But yeah, there was some errors indeed, so yeah, we are nearly there. We see the new changes, if it's better or not. I mean, now I kind of realize the first version, checking if the playlist keyword was present in the URL, was probably a shorter check. Now it does use the type from the main library, and that's okay too. So if I check, so from YT DLP we can check here. Oh, it's type with underscore. Alright, type is playlist. Perfect. So now what do we have here? Okay, the comment was changed for the is playlist URL, and now we reuse the YouTube DLP. And here again we reuse the same. Oh yeah, sorry, that was just one change. Okay. Can you review your changes again to ensure this approach is the ideal one? And let's see. It's kind of a good version so far, but there's maybe a better way to do it, and that's what we need to see. But I'm happy with that version otherwise, just to be certain. And it's always nice to ask again and again Copilot, a bit like a loop, so you'd re-ask it and again, like to be sure that usually the first version is not exactly the most appropriate one. Sometimes it is, and sometimes by re-asking more questions it will confuse Copilot, and so you will just end up with something that is not usable anymore. So you also have to know the limit, like now I'm happy with that version and I know what it did, and because of my knowledge I know that is fine. And lastly, after I will switch to the ask mode, and I will ask Copilot to because I forgot the name actually, I forgot the C flag, the Python C flag, to run Python directly into the CLI mode, the user CLI mode, without using any files or whatsoever. That's the same with PHP and with a lot of interpreted languages. Like usually compiled languages cannot do that because they need to be compiled first, like C++ or C, or even Java. But for Python, for PHP, for JavaScript, you can run it directly into the terminal. But also just like you'd write a command and automatically you'd have the result, but through your terminal, which is really handy. And I just want to know the name of this in Python. I forgot. It has been quite a while actually. I have done Python like really deeply. It was of course before AI era, so now it's a different era, of course. Alright, so now what do we have here? Still working on the test, and as you can see, I really like the way it tests it. That makes me feeling good actually, because it's really the kind of test normally a software engineer would do as well, to ensure that the script is working as expected. And it's not ideal. But if I will ask AI, it will always find a different way to enhance the script. So at some point, you have to stop because there's no limit. But here we can see that, so we have the cache. It was also mentioned previously, like earlier, and so it added a cache system. It's a bit longer, but that's fine. The information of the cache into avoid duplication. So the cache would make the script more efficient, and especially to be more optimized. So just to ask, but I'm happy with the cache version. If it doesn't add any side effects, that's fine. Like, what's the downside of it? That's another question to ask, but I would say it's a good idea just for performance. And so here I will just also check again the performance. Performance. Let me try simpler. The location result. Okay. Perfect. After caching, so it will add a new dependency for the cache from where that annotation comes from tools. So so we import. Do we need to have it? Do we need to update requirements? .txt. Maybe we will have to actually. And I will mention the name of the package actually for, and that one apparently we don't use it anymore now. threading, yeah, we don't. Or for any other libraries, the download.py script uses. Perfect, so nearly done. I'm just waiting that Copilot finishes, and then I will ask this question. Amazing. Yeah, let's see if... Yeah, sometimes you wonder if it's really optimal or not. And actually, I said annotation, but in Python this is decorator. This one is a decorator in Python. It's really, really powerful having decorators. It's also a good practice, like it helps to have your code more readable, and that's how also the library works. This one, the Func Tools library. Right. Well, getting improved efficiency, I like that, yeah. Download YouTube, okay, so line 220. Alright, performance, impact analysis, okay. Right, that's great. Cache, perfect, so calculate improvement. Amazing. And the README is pretty much, I'm happy with that version. So what I added is intuitive UX, only shows relevant options when needed. It's a bit long, true. I also have a GIF file. GIF is nice because now with VS Code, when you are on a README and there is a file, so basically when you are on a markdown, any kind of markdown files, there's an image like a GIF, and if you hover over the image, well, you will see it. You see the image, and that's a GIF actually added, and it's quite nice. And there's another one down there, so if we search for GIF, oh, maybe I have only one for now, but in my asset, promo asset, you see I have one MP4 actually, one MP4 video, and one GIF. Alright, so apparently it's not finished yet. Yeah, let's just wait. And let's see. Yeah, it can be a little bit slow, of course, and that's fine, like we just need to wait a bit. Sometimes it's also stuck somewhere, so then you have to stop it here and to do it again. Like if nothing happens and nothing has moved in the file and you're still waiting, you would have to stop it and to redo the little refresh icon to click on it, and so it will rerun the last prompt. Yeah, let's see how it goes here. So that one, cached info is not used. Alright. So it doesn't stop actually, so we'll have to stop by myself manually the Copilot AI agent because it's still in a loop. So we'll just stop here, and so that way you can see how you can do it by yourself. So we'll click back on the refresh button. And something else quite interesting, I had a look, and indeed on YouTube for playlist, it doesn't necessarily have the playlist keyword in the URL. Usually it would have only list, but it wouldn't have playlist, and the list will be only a get variable. So it will be something like this, list equals something, which is a variable. It's a get variable in the URL with a parameter, but it doesn't have /playlist, something like that, it doesn't. So I'm happy we didn't go with that version. So now here we are running again, and you see now it's faster actually. So I stopped the agent, I refresh, and now we have directly what we need. And let's see, we do continue and let's see how it goes. Now we have it done. So we have all of the benchmark here, which is a good news, and we can see like exactly all of the results, like we are sure this approach is correct. So again, because I was asking if why we needed a cache and if it was needed. So basically, so the cache would make the script more efficient and can review again the download.py file, and this is what it did. It read, you can see, from line 1 to 51. So if I go there, I search 51 here, that's line 51, just there, and then after it did continue actually. So if we see line 1 until 316, so 316, which is here, and after it continues until line 290, which is there. So we can, that's with me actually, yeah, that's with me. So 290 is the end, pretty much, yeah. And after we can see, after reviewing the current download.py file, they can confirm that yes, cache makes your script significantly more efficient, and here's a detailed analysis. And then after we can see without cache, that's, I wonder where the numbers, it's where the numbers come from. I'm not too sure if it's from the script it generated before, but anyway, I do believe, of course, that the cache is indeed more efficient because this does make sense. So now I will just run my last prompt. Do we need to update the requirements.txt for the func tools and maybe the other libraries or not? And so let's see if we do need to have this in place or not. So let's wait in the meantime. So now it's working and we can see that, yeah, all import standard. Alright, so that was not needed. Yeah, it doesn't need to be added because it's a standard library, my bad. So indeed, that's a good news. Please, we will just to be sure. Oh, that one is not being used, so I will just remove. I did remove that one previously, but when it would regenerate the script for you, Copilot has a cache version as well, so it would sometimes pull again previous code that you previously deleted, so you always have to be careful because it doesn't always read the latest version, what you see here, but it has a cached version it uses for Copilot. So yeah, that's why that import, I have removed it previously, but I was ready, it got added again. So can you read carefully the import, the library import, and ensure the requirements.txt file is up to date, perfect. And also I paste this so it knows exactly what's the latest ones of the file, and it will check again to ensure if it's if everything is correct by now, and so we will be all good, and that will be our final version, which is very exciting. The analysis there, so already included, yeah, that's the most important one. Yeah, so this one is part of Python, so the func tools is actually part of Python since 2.5, Python 2.5, and then, oh, that one is actually very new. Yeah, Python 3.2, I mean new, kind of. Yeah, and anyway, the requirements is at least Python 3.7, so that's all good there. Beautiful, so we are all set. Perfect. So now the last thing I wanted to ask, when it did execute the Python code in the terminal for the flag, what is the, so I will change my mode to ask. Before it was agent, and now we'll switch to ask. What is the the C flag Python when executing code into the terminal? What I was speaking about earlier. I'm always so curious about knowing, the terminologies behind. So it's very interesting. And yes, so to execute the code line, so directly in the command line, indeed, as a string, without the need to create a Python file, we can use the C flag syntax, and that's a use case, and like what it did as well. So it's very handy actually, and so it can execute directly Python code in the terminal. again, without the need to have a separate file, like a file you need to create with Python code. You can directly use the C flag and then you'd execute this, use the word code. Perfect, that's really good to know. Debugging, yeah, it's very handy for debugging, quick and easy. Yeah, lovely. So that was really interesting, really nice. So I believe now we are all set and we have our script and everything. So yeah, that's so good. So now what we can do lastly is to look again at the changes. You can see sometimes it doesn't do well the formatting, so that's fine. So I will go to download and I will do format. I have a plugin for that, actually, an extension, and the name of the, I go to install. The extension I have installed is that one, AutoPep 8, and that helps me to format my Python files. You have some standards as well to follow, and then you can choose the standards you want, and that helps you to have consistent code. And when you commit your code, it's always a consistent formatting. That means the indentation and the spacing and the way you want, you know, like how long the width of the code, like if it's 120 characters width, you would have it formatted that way, and otherwise it will go to the next line if it's longer, and so on. So in my case, I just do format document, and again, thanks to that extension, it formats for me. Oops, yeah. All right, here we are. So yeah, that's really, sorry, it's not this one. I have a few different projects. All right, we are back to the download simply videos from YouTube. So yeah, now our file is formatted, so I can just open back my terminal and I can continue. I can check that. I can see there are still some extra spaces. All right, and we can actually use also the Visual Studio tool to add your changes. If you click here, you would see, very simple. That's the changes. You can use the top and down arrows, going up and down. That's the changes it did. In my case, I'm kind of more used to use the CLI git on the terminal. It's just, you know, because I'm so used to. But for you, probably you would prefer to use it on VS Code, and that's fine too. Alright, so you see the changes are not that big, it's mostly the cache again. And then the get URL info, it's been used here. And yeah, amazing. And there as well in the other function. What is cache only for detection. Oh yeah, that's good, only for detection. Otherwise it will not cache. Perfect. And download. Oh yeah, the type of download, I really like that. Amazing. So we can go back to our VS Code. Just checking, because this one doesn't have it in the URL. I can check earlier. Yeah, it's not over yet. We already commit this. I will generate a commit message. Amazing. Performance. Perfect. And then I will ask, I found out that most playlist YouTube URL don't contain playlist keywords. Please review the changes in download. I don't have to mention the file because it's only one and we have already added it, so that's fine. Oh, and sorry, that's the ask mode. So I will actually stop and I will go back to the agent mode. And actually, to go to the history, when you type a prompt, you can do Control and up or down key, the arrow up or down. And so it does this way when you are up. Sorry, it's option actually, option up and down. So option up and down. But in my case, I switch to agent here first, and then I will actually add the download. Perfect. Okay. So now we are in the agent. So the agent will be able to modify directly the file for us, and so it will be just a better experience for us. We don't have to do any copy paste or anything like that. And that's actually the last step. We are very, very close to have our final beautiful version. Oh yeah, so it found the issue there, and it's going to fix. I mean, I swear it was using the library for the type like this. So from the YDL package actually, so it was using the type directly to see if the type was playlist, and maybe, I mean, that was in, because here it was only in the catch block, the playlist. But it's always nice to double check this and always to do some kind of code reviews just to be sure. Otherwise we wouldn't have found out this. You see, that was inside of the except. We had a try and then catch block. And in the exception block we had it. So it was very minor anyway. Alright. Perfect. So we can see the changes around it, looks good. And it's using the YT DLP package, so that's amazing. And we can see, basically it's just commented, don't content. When you check for this parameter, okay, that's exactly what I wrote. But, actually we can, I'm not sure, otherwise maybe that version was still fine. Is there another approach you may think of, just to see if there's maybe something better than just removing this and that's all? Anyway, here it's really minor, it's just to know if that video was from a playlist or not, so it's so minor. But that's a bit too much here, the changes. Yeah, the diff will be too big. In the meantime, I will already do a git push of the changes I did. So that's an alias actually, cheese for GitHub. It's an alias I had, but for you it will probably be git and then push like this. Alright. And approach 3. Okay, so it will test the different, to test the format. So we can do continue. I'm happy with that. Some testing is always good. And let's see what we will get here. Now it integrates checking the normalization of the URL. So I will press on continue here one more time, and let's see. Right. So it's debugging now. I will see if it got pushed. And by the way, if you want to see the project, you can go to that URL. That's for if you want to clone the project or whatsoever. It's just github.com/ph-ph-download-simply-videos-from-YouTube. Alright, so now I will press on continue one more time. There. Excellent. So here's a summary of the different approaches and others. Okay. Since it's in the catch, can we use a short and simple approach to minimize to reduce the complexity? Perfect. Let's see here, just to have something, because I believe this is not really worth it. It's a bit too much. It's a bit too many changes. It got the debug log there. Yeah. Probably we'll have something a little bit better and clearer instead. So it's not searching. It's removing the helper. Oh yeah, that's nice. It does some cleanup here to remove something that is no longer needed. Perfect. So that's good. And then let's see where we want to be. and I will just press on continue here. Perfect. Now so it's now testing the simplified approach. All right, let's see if that one would be better. Is it really? Oh yeah, it's a bit shorter. Okay, I will keep that one. Perfect balance. Yeah, that's what it says. Always it would say something like kind of positive, where now it's like the perfect balance between robustness and performance and simplicity. But yeah, I would say so actually. So if we go back here, and we can see the new changes. I will just format my file. Yeah, that's the one. So we format the file here. Amazing. And let's see the changes. It's just a comment. So the comment there, and then normalize. So that's a new function we have. Normalize underscore YouTube underscore URL, and then I'm not sure this is actually really needed. I will go back to the function, to the project here. So can we invert? Do we really need these changes? As it would add too many complexities in the catch block, which might not be that important. Please make your own judgment. Please make your own judgment on this, and let's see if it does find something a bit better than what we have. So it will just revert this for now. And please, I will also add another comment. Please clean up the irrelevant comments in the file that was used only for debugging. Perfect. So yeah, we have done nice progress here, and that's working. We still need the system for the comment. Oh yeah. So I mean, that one got deleted. Okay, so it just cleaned up, but it says now it's in needs. A bit confused. We no longer need this, but here we still need. Yeah, maybe Copilot is a bit confused. So perfect. You have made the right call. Here's what we accomplished. The right call. Yes. Let's see. So what we removed. Pattern matching validation, what we kept. Okay, so it removed quite a bit. 1% of them unnecessary. Okay, that's nice. So we did some changes. So yeah, we have again this and there. So I will use the up and down arrows, so I can just navigate simply. Oh, the imported, that one was removed. Okay, I see. Right. Yeah, I think that approach is the best. Indeed, I do agree. I will just format that. So we now probably have our final version. Oh yeah, actually it moved the import sys from here to up there. I think that's better. It's better to have all imports at the top of the file. So yes, that's a better approach. I will just remove that comment. So this comment, I will just do that. Check. Let's check for this one. URL. Perfect. So fallback. I will keep that. Fallback and then check for list parameter in URL. And that way we do have the other comments are pretty much fine. Yes, so we commit to this and we are all done. Let's generate a commit message. You see, so it's actually very minor. It's actually what we wanted. So we don't have playlist in the check, and yeah, I would say good enough. So yeah, multi-strategy detection, URL normalization, or debug login, or we don't really need this. Yeah, so I'm happy with that that versions with that approach. And we have everything now. Let's go back to our terminal, and that's the last commit we have. Improve playlist detection by refining the URL parsing logic. And yeah, we'll just check again. Very minor, you see, very neat, perfect. And you see, like, I will quickly show it to you. This kind of comment is like really like AI generated comment. That one we can see. Like normally an engineer would not write this kind of comment. And here, so we have that one. This one was with the cache. Perfect. We still have that one. And I liked that. I like this actually. It's really good. And that was the one before. So we have a look as well to see the changes. Yeah. Perfect. And then the one before I also did today, but before I recorded my screen was to update, so that was to update the readme. And yeah, so we have everything now. Amazing. So yeah, that sounds perfect. I just did a git push and we have everything now. Wonderful. I wish you a happy AI coding, and don't hesitate to clone the repository as well. And to make your own changes, you can also create a pull request to suggest a new version, a better version, and just have fun playing with it. And I hope this video was quite helpful.